Hello and thank you for watching this short video about Luxembourg. Luxembourg, if you have managed to find it on a map, then I think it's a great choice for immigration. It's probably one of the richest countries on earth and definitely top three richest countries in European Union. It is known for its business and legal sector, which is quite developed. There are so many Belgians, French, and Germans that come to work there every day. Most of them work in financial services and in legal services. But it also, for anyone who is interested to start his own activity in Luxembourg, it is probably one of the safest and calmest places to be. Yes, many people claim nothing is going on in Luxembourg, but it depends what kind of activity are you looking for. If you care for quiet life, family life, safety and peace, then you should look no more. Luxembourg is considered to be Europe's safest city. I think it speaks for itself. Well, let's look at how can you get a residence permit in Luxembourg. I would say there are probably three main doable ways. First, if you can prove that you are financially independent. What does it mean? So there are two options here. If you deposit 1.5 million euros onto an account within a bank in Luxembourg, then it is serves as a proof of your credibility, and just based on that, the bank with which you deposit the money will help you obtain the residence permit. Along with that, you would also need to provide sufficient housing, and if you have this, and if you're really thinking about living and being there on a daily basis, I think this is probably the best route. This process is not a short one because you have to pass the KYC by the bank. It will take probably 6 months before they will agree to open an account. Then you transfer the money, and then with the documents in hand, you start the application form, and it just takes time. So I think if you go this route, you should count on about a year to get it done. The very important thing is that it works if you are thinking about living there. If you only need a residence permit just somewhere in Europe, then this route is not a good one. Luxembourg does not like people who just declare their fiscal and physical residence there and never live there, actually. So if you get this residence permit, make sure that you are there very often, if not permanent, that you know your neighbors, that the neighbors know you, and that your post box is never full. So this is a possibility. You don't get any permit to work. So if you have this type of residence permit, you only are allowed to live there. But again, it's probably the easiest and although not the shortest process to get into Luxembourg. The other way, I would say, it is not straightforward, but it's still possible. Again, if you are planning on setting up your business in Luxembourg, then you can go this route too. If you start a company, if you get a real office, if you start the real activity, and you are in your company, in your office very often, very regularly. The office is an office, and it is not just a place somewhere underground. Then this is also a possibility. The way it works, we set up a company with you, we get a business plan, we get it approved. You apply through the embassy of Luxembourg, apparently. You handle this process there. You pass the. It is possible that you may be interviewed about the proposed activity. Once this activity is approved by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then of Internal Affairs, sorry, then you can claim your visa type D, and with this visa type D, you arrive to Luxembourg and you apply for the residence permit. This process will not be fast, since you will have received your visa type D. You probably need, I would say, a good couple of months to pass the medical test and to really claim your residence permit in the city hall where you think you're going to be established. Again, Luxembourg is not a cheap place. It makes sense to consider being there if you can allow it yourself, and or if you have a good and solid plan, if you know what you're going to be doing. The other way of getting into Luxembourg is through studies. I think it's probably the most economical way. The opportunity window is open from the end of January till about April. If you apply to University of Luxembourg for any of their bachelor's, master's or PhD programs, and if you're accepted, then based on this you can claim a visa type D, with which you arrive to Luxembourg, and you within 2 months you secure your residence permit. The cost of studies is quite low. The tuition fees that you will pay will be around 400 euros per year for most programs. So it's up to you if you go to class or not. I mean, it does not concern us, but if you this is the way to receive a residence permit. You start your studies. You appear in the university, you become a student. It doesn't matter what age you have. The only thing is that you must have a valid diploma to enter the university. So if it's for bachelor's, then you must have a good high school diploma fulfilled. Then you should also have a language test. And then again, if you do it through, if you apply for master's level, you should have a prior bachelor's degree at least. Again, you should have a proof that you speak the language at the proper level. Many programs in the university require just one language, some of them require two. I would say that there are a few programs that are only in French, that are only in German, and there are very little of them that are exclusively in English. There is always a mix. So if you can speak any other language, it will help you. So again, the applications are being accepted from January onwards. If you don't have a passport of a European Union country, then for you the application period will end in the end of April. So it's better to have everything on hand and make sure that you have all the documents, not on the very last moment, but just before. If you have any questions on how to do it, please feel free to get in touch with us. We will help you, and we'll see at particular circumstances of your request. Again, Luxembourg is a great choice. It's a great destination, provided that you are planning on being there physically. If you're just looking for some residence permit to have in your pocket, then this is not the way. For two reasons: you have to be there physically, and it is being checked by the government. And second, is because it's just simply quite expensive. What else can we say about Luxembourg? With safety, it is very quiet. It has good medical care. Okay, can your family join you? Yes, it can. Can your kids go to school? Yes, the situation with the schooling is quite sophisticated, meaning that the local schools, with age, they teach in 3 different languages. And so by the time your kid will have graduated from the school, then he will be fluent in at least 3 languages, but normally in 4. That means that if your kid arrives over the age of 12, then he may lose 1 year qualifying for the language and just learning the language. But the same actually applies for any other country. If your kid is of primary school age, then it's fine. The kids learn fast. But if suppose that he or she is already 12 and she comes to the country and she speaks no language, then apparently yes, he or she will need to invest 1 year into learning the local language. In Luxembourg, we speak 3 different languages. There is Luxembourgish, which is the main official language, and that's mostly spoken language. And in business, we use German, and all the legal stuff is made in French. It is very interesting, and everybody speaks English as well. So living there is a big advantage for the kid. If you don't, if you get bored, well, there is France across the border. There's Germany. There is Belgium. So I don't think you will ever get bored. It has very nice nature. It is not, the surface is not even. So there are lots of various castles, little mountains, creeks, and it's. I think it's a great nature. It's great fun to be. In terms of business opportunities, we need to think. There are ways to set up your IT companies. Luxembourg is known to be a good logistics hub. Well, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. So we'll try to direct you and find you the proper solution for yourself. Again, don't delay the application. If you have decided to immigrate, then don't delay, because with time immigration just gets more complicated, or just more expensive, or just longer. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Alex Bogdanov. I'm director at euresidence.me. If you have questions, feel free to get in touch with us by all possible means. Thank you.